Hello friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. I am Jenny and welcome to our weekly nursery tour. I will go ahead and tell you that today is Saturday. It is about 20 minutes before the nursery opens. So you might hear some different, ruckuses going on and all sorts of things. So just forgive any background noise or people that may randomly appear. I have a couple of exciting things to share with you as far as plants go because we got in 2 shipments of plants this week. Very excited to show them to you. Also, it is fall. Now is the go time for planting perennials, trees, shrubs in your garden. Remember, the fall is just the perfect time to go ahead and get those guys into the ground. That way their roots can get really well established during the rest of the fall, winter, early spring before the summer heat hits. During those times, you may not see any growth up top. It's all the action is happening down in below the soil where your roots are really growing and getting strong and happy. So this is the perfect time to plant, like I said, those perennials, trees, and shrubs. So speaking of, let's talk about those ones that we got in yesterday. Behind me, you will see this wonderful forest of trees. There is quite an assortment of plants in here. We'll just go through them and kind of talk about them just a little bit. Up close, I have maple trees. These are red maple trees. I believe these are the flame. We'll put all the information up on the screen. I don't remember all the details, so if I'm talking about a plant, I'll have the details on the screen. This is a great one. A fast-growing tree will provide lots of great summer shade, and then in the fall it will turn this gorgeous shade of red. Love these trees. We have one of them in our side yard. This will be, I believe, its 3rd season in there. It's been in the ground for about 2.5 years, but it'll be its 3rd fall, and it is just growing and doing great. So if you need a shade tree and fall interest, these maples are great choices. We ordered some Crepe Myrtles for a customer of ours. So these are beautiful. This is the Tuscarora, I believe. Yes, Tuscarora. We'll get a nice size, beautiful pink blooms on it. So we've got 3 of those in here, just doing great. And then over here, this is for a landscape job that we're doing. This is a river birch. Now, in the south, we can get a little iffy on river birches because we tend to get a little bit too warm. This is the Dura Heat. Hence its name. It is the most heat tolerant river birch. If you're in the south, this would be a great choice for you, but you love river birches because you can see it's got 3 trunks. River birches are similar to crepe myrtles in the fact that a lot of their beautiful interest comes from their trunks because their bark will peel. Beautiful, just a fantastic tree, lots of great interest. And then we're going to try to see if we can come over here. These guys are red buds. Red bud is a native tree to the southeast and I'm sure other parts of the country. This particular one is a flamethrower. Flamethrower, if you can see, has beautiful different colors as far as the foliage. So you've got your new growth is almost that red, a little bit of yellow, orange into it, and as the leaves mature, they'll turn to a green. Really an interesting tree. In the spring, red buds are just covered in little tiny pink blooms that come directly off the bark. The blooms themselves are very, very small, but there's thousands upon thousands of them, so they make a really neat, interesting, big, eye-catching tree for your yard. Red buds also will have a little bit of a funk to them as far as some interest because their stems are not perfectly straight. Say like the maple, they'll have curves to them. So you'll have a little bit of some fun interest in the weightiness of the trunk. These are staked. Once they get really established, it will get a nice trunk on it and you won't really have to worry about it. We also got in here, we're in the middle of sorting. So yesterday we thought, oh, well, the truck came around lunchtime. We thought, oh, we'll have plenty of time to get it unloaded. Yeah, well, no. We had great customers yesterday. So of course we want to spend our time with our customers and not worrying about moving plants. Another great thing we got in is another order, another round of the Limelight trees. These are so popular with our customers, and rightly so. This is a Limelight hydrangea trained into a tree form. You will hear them called standards. What they are is they have those beautiful classic hydrangea blooms on them. These are new little buds. They will bloom out through the fall, and they just have gorgeous interest to them. These do wonderful if you want to like put it in the center of a flower bed and underplant around it. You can put it on the corner of your house. If you want to have a structure there, quote, a tree, but not committing to like a full-size tree that could get 20 feet tall, then your Hydrangea Standard is a great option because it still gives you that structure and the look of a tree without being so massive and large like a tree. So we have those in stock as well. We're going to come over here just for a second. The sun is coming up, so forgive us if the camera is a little funky right now. But one thing that I'm really excited about, and we're going to come into the shade. This is a great perennial. The common name of this is a yellow rain lily. I will put the scientific name up there on the screen because I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. These are fantastic perennials in zones 7 to 9, I believe, and they do those beautiful, I'm going to let Jerry see if he can zoom in on that, just bright, sunny, yellow blooms on it. It will be a nice and petite plant. This is really as tall as it's going to get. The foliage is semi-evergreen, so that means it will not completely disappear in the winter. I'm sure in the warmer you go, the more foliage you will keep, and just gorgeous. This does great for, I believe, it's sun to part shade, kind of in rocky areas, and will naturalize over time. So this is something really fun that I saw on the list. It was unusual, looked it up, I thought, oh, this will be fun, and so we grabbed it. These have got to be moved. And then, I don't know, Jerry, can you get this? Is it too sunny for you to get? He's looking at me like, no, let's go over there. Okay, so we decorated with some of those. Of course, we have the Aqua Pots. This is the lily leaf in antique white. Remember, Aqua Pots are just gorgeous self-watering containers. They are ceramic. They're handmade in Vietnam. Michael Carr is the artist who designs the pots. Jack Barnwell was the one who came up with the whole system of the self-watering concept. There's just 3 pieces to it. It works beautiful. This is our second summer using them, and they have done amazing. And then Proven Winners is really the one that is marketing and providing these containers. So we have those. We have multiple colors of those that you can come and choose from. Now, look at this. Are you ready? Those of you that have followed us for a long time, I'm not going to say anything, but just see something a little different? Greenhouses are down. They're almost gone. That is the goal for the day, is to get all this cleaned up. If you heard a little bit of racket in the beginning, I don't know what the mic was picking up, but we had our great crew on flatbed trailers had loaded these pieces up and we're hauling them out. But if you will remember, greenhouses are coming down. We are going to move them to the production area and put them up there. We started thinking about it and we're like, you know what, it just makes more sense for us to keep them than sell them, and we'll put them up there and use them as for whatever purposes. But we're going to replace it with a more customer, retail friendly 48 by 48 gutter connect. You will see that whole process, but I thought y'all would be interested in seeing that they are gone. Mums, we have mums. Look at these. These are the ones that are in full bloom, just spectacular. We basically have every color. We've got orange, the pink, yellow, reds, whites down there on the end. So these are the ones that are in full bloom. We do have, of course, ones that are going to be coming in that are just now starting to crack color. We place them over here between what was the greenhouses and the barn. So they're over there. So depend, if you don't want it in full bloom, if you want it just to start showing some color, we have those available. And then we have ones that will bloom more towards the end of October. The other fun thing that we got this week were pansies. So they are wet with dew this morning, so their little faces are kind of downturned, but they are beautiful and they are fantastic. For us in the South, pansies are a fall, winter, very early spring crop. Pansies thrive and grow in cool conditions. For us in the summer, it's way too hot. Really about April, May is when it starts. They can go through May. If you're lucky, they may go through June. But we use these as winter crops to give us those colors. Beautiful. Now, let me tell you this. The difference between a pansy and a viola is, one, you will be able to physically tell the difference if I can get this undone here. So I have a sweet little viola, Johnny Jump Ups, people will also call them. Nice petite, they look like a mini petunia. So then on the other hand, we have the petunia. Petunias, of course, have nice, big, fat, happy faces. They make a great impact from a big distance. Both of these need to be full sun. They do not perform well in the shade. They need that full sun conditions. The difference really is that the violas will perform and flower better even in the colder parts of the winter. In our coldest parts of the winter, the pansies kind of go dormant. Like they're not, the foliage is still there, but they may not be producing a lot of blooms. Your violas will perform better during those cold months. So you can use these interchangeably. You can, however you want to do it. But just so you know the difference between a pansy and a viola, that's the main difference. More performance during the colder parts of the months than the pansies. Yes, they are smaller blooms, but they typically will have more blooms on a plant. So they can still make a great impact from a distance, but they are both considered full sun. So we've got just a wide range of colors. We've got your silver Artemisia. This makes a fantastic accent plant. Even when it's wet, you can still see the silvery foliage on it. It is wonderful. The grasses, we've got both annual grasses and perennial grasses that you can put in with your fall arrangements. These are all desert plains down here. So if you were to put your desert plains in a container, of course, it's going to go brown once you have a freeze. But in the spring, you can easily either leave it in the container and let it come back in that container, or you can go ahead and put it in the ground and let it, have your perennial grass there. But we do love those desert plains. Eventually in the ground, there'll be like a 4x4. Super easy on those. Of course, we've got the color, and then we also have some fun textures. So we have got the ornamental kale and cabbage, both in the reds and the whites. We've got the more upright, the more traditional cabbage shape in that red and the white. Again, this is kale, the red variety. A traditional green variety is there as well. We do have a couple of white wonders left over, and white wonder Caladium, of course, could be a great option for you. So if you wanted to put this in a container with pansies underneath it, especially if you've got something going on right now, that would do really, really well in those containers. And then we've also got, this would be a really fun addition. This is the Proven Winners Sweet Romance Lavender. These are ones that we were growing ourselves. They're doing great. They're beautiful. This would be a fun, neat, different kind of texture to put in a container with those fall annuals. Or if you had it, wanted to put it in the ground, go ahead and put it in the ground. It smells amazing. When Heather brought these down, they were just the sweetest, best smelling. I mean, it's lavender, right? Gotta love that. All right, let's move over real quick to the pines and the shade garden, and let's talk about some really fun other perennials that we got, because there's some good ones. All right, come on. We're gonna go across the bridge, give you an update on the planter. Look at that. Cleopatras are still going strong, doing amazing. Okay, so they brought them over here. I just have to figure out where they put everybody because my sweet people unloaded and I'm not, oh, here they are. Come over here. We got a lot of fun hostas in that are nice, good size. So for all of you who have loved the refrigerator behind me with the drinking gourd, we are growing drinking gourd, but it's still in the baby stage. We got some 2 gallons in, so if you're looking for a drinking gourd, these are of a nice size, so we have those that you can come get. And then over here, these are the ones that I'm really super excited about. This mass right here, these nice big hostas, this is white feather hosta. This is the only hosta that I know of that when in the spring, when it emerges from the ground, the leaves are pure white. Hence its name, white feather. You can tell that it's going to be more of an upright, vase-like hosta. Clearly, it will turn green as the season progresses. As you can see that it is all green right now. But in the spring, when it emerges, it is just the neatest looking plant, very unique. I'll try to find a picture of it so that you can really see what it looks like in all of its glory. It's just a great plant. So with the hosta, because it can be a little bit on the more tall, upright side, this would be great in the middle or the back of your shade garden, just depending on where you put it. And of course, it blooms just like fantastic hostas that we love. And then over here, we saw this hosta when we were visiting Walter's Gardens in Michigan. Remember, that is our supplier when we order perennials. They have a fantastic shade garden. This is Wrinkle in Time. Let me try to find one for you. It is going to be a nice short one. So whereas white feather is very upright, again, in the back or the middle of the bed, Wrinkle in Time is going to be at the front of your bed. It's only going to be about 9 inches tall, and that would probably include the scape, the flower scape on it. Nice petite, extreme waviness to the leaves. It has that variegated color. It is beautiful, very unique. That's the thing I love about hostas and a hosta bed is that you can combine all sorts of different colors and textures. You still just have only hostas, but you could just have so much color and texture in that bed. So Wrinkle in Time is a great one. We have those. Jerry, I was trying to find the flowering ones. Do you know where they? The sun one over here. Okay, we're going to show you one more because we have customers waiting at the gate, so we got to chop. You know, Jenny, I could just sit here and talk to you about plants all the live long day. But doing these nursery tours, I was like, the gates, if you get here one day and you know that we're open, but the gate is closed, we'll open it at 9. So just don't fret, my pet. We will take care of you. Ah, here they are. So we have all the catmints, the daisies, all these are perennials, would be great. This is what I was looking for. Here we go. Now, this is a fun new introduction, and this is a cross between an echinacea and a rudbeckia. So they took the two and they bred them together. They will be perennials from zones 7A to 9B, I believe. And they're, so those are our people getting the rest of the, bless them, I love them. Sorry, I digress. They didn't want to interrupt filming and it's okay. But these are great perennials for fall color. I mean, massive blooms. Look at that, huge. Now, of course, these have been through the ringer as far as like they've been transported back and forth. But you can see that they're still putting on new growth. So we've got buds in here, just beautiful, massive, fantastic fall color. Lots of options here. So the customers are starting to roll in. So that is our signal that we are going to sign off. As always, thank you so much for gardening with Creekside. Y'all have a fantastic day and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.